Good afternoon and welcome to Bits and Bytes. This is a new style technology show looking at how the rapid advancement of the internet has affected where, when and how we watch television. Our guests today are Carl Lloyd from the BBC's Research and Technology Department and Connie Bihar. First though, Adam takes on a whistle-stop tour of the last 20 years of broadcasting history.
One of the biggest revolutions of the past 20 years has been the advent of the internet and all the technology that allows us to go online. Data began flooding down our telephone lines and into our offices and homes and onto our computers. All you needed was a phone, a modem, a computer and an account with an internet service provider. But, and this is a big but, it could be annoyingly slow and unreliable. So do you remember the dial-up?
Yeah, I remember the terrible sound it made down your ear when you picked up the phone.
I quite like the sound actually, but the speed was fairly annoying. Yeah, probably that and the fact that you can't use it anywhere.
What was the worst thing about it?
The dial-up noise.
Now skip forward 15 years to the next stage of the internet revolution, broadband. Broadband and new software saw an explosion in the possibilities for the internet. Uploading, downloading, and one of the most popular activities, watching videos on YouTube. It was around 2005 that the powers that be at the BBC saw a fantastic opportunity to use some of the new technology to create the iPlayer, a way to view programmes from the previous 7 days on your computer. Now catch-up TV wasn't a new idea, we were all bombarded with repeats. What is so exciting is that the fact that we could watch the iPlayer on your computer anytime, day or night. Have you ever used the BBC iPlayer?
Yeah, we use it all the time because we're in a student accommodation. We haven't got a TV, we just use iPlayer.
No, I don't have any idea about the iPlayer. Never heard about it. No. Some of it's good. Like you can watch some programs. Depends what you obviously like to watch, but it's good how you can watch stuff after it's been played.
Have you ever used the iPlayer before?
Yes,
And
very
where do
rarely.
you use it then?
I don't have a TV licence, so it's the way that I. No, never young.
Only if it's live.
So it's the only way that I watch the BBC. So
Yeah. I just watch it at home.
I watch it on my phone when I'm on the train.
you can download as well. So
quite
yeah,
helpful.
sometimes I download it and then watch it on the train.
And now, with Wi-Fi, you're not even restricted to the house or the office. You can watch it here, 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 and even here. This should be the end of the story, except this is the BBC we're talking about. A public funded body our parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents have paid for. Who's making sure that they're up to date with this new technology? Meet Connie. Connie is new to the iPlayer and determined to get to grips with the latest technology. For her, the BBC iPlayer is the perfect way to catch up with her and her husband Alan's favourite TV programmes. Hi Connie.
Hi.
Could you please tell us when you first heard about the iPlayer?
It was when Graham suggested it in the Apple store, and he said, "I'll put it with your favourites."
And
And-
do you like the iPlayer now?
Yes, I use it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you like most about the iPlayer?
Well, it's easy to get to. All I've got to do is click on favourites, and I get it. And then, of course, if I've missed it the night before, I can watch the iPlayer, it on the iPlayer, and it's good. Instead of recording, and then I never watch it.
So Connie, would you recommend any of your friends to the iPlayer?
Well, I would. I tried to actually, but it's very difficult. First of all, they don't have laptops, and I just try to get them at it to do it because I think it's the future. Not really the iPlayer, but the computer.
So do you watch any programmes about technology?
Yes, I watch Click.
Yeah.
I watch the Gadget Show. Anything to do with technology.
The BBC recently published data to suggest that it's a 40-year-old man without kids who's the biggest user of the iPlayer. With plans to eventually have practically the whole BBC archive available on the iPlayer, Connie and her friends, with a little help, could have a fantastic trip down memory lane.
Hi Carl, hi Connie, thanks very much for coming on to the show today.
Hi.
Carl, what made you and your team first hit on the idea of the iPlayer?
Well, the iPlayer grew out of some work that had originally been done on the BBC Two website some years before, which featured selected content from BBC Two, but by no means all. And I think some of the lessons learned in doing that exercise were expanded on to create iPlayer.
And Connie, we saw from the clip that you're obviously a very determined person and have really embraced this new technology. What help, if any, do you think the BBC could give to somebody like you to help you make the most of the new technology?
Well, I suppose they could have a programme on it. Why not? Like they do university, maybe in the evenings, later on or early morning. Older people get up earlier, funny enough. Well, I do.
What about if they brought out some kind of manual? Would that help to you?
Yes, but they can't be technical. What an older person thinks about certain things. They asked me in the lesson, what do you think, and how I would approach it is completely different from what, say, you know, the younger people would approach it. So that's difficult. Maybe if somebody my age, not me, but my age could bring out an annual, an album.
Or at least help to write one.
Or help to write one, yes.
Carl, do you think the BBC has become more too youth and technology driven and isn't taking care of the interests of older viewers, such as Connie?
Well, I think there's certain focus has been on certain flagship programmes and initiatives that are more youth-centric, but certainly taken as a whole, the coverage of all age groups is pretty good throughout all the BBC channels. It's true that iPlayer probably has been taken up mostly by the 25 to 45 bracket is probably the biggest demographic that would be using it. But I think that the younger people, the reason why they may not have taken it up is that their tastes lie elsewhere, not with BBC output. And then the challenge is with the older end of the spectrum is to make it easier for them to get started on it, because once you've got started on it, it's very easy to use.
And you'd agree with that, Connie?
Oh yes, definitely, yeah.
Carl, do you think it's becoming in a sense almost elitist for certain sections of the BBC audience to actually watch the iPlayer, as you need a laptop or broadband?
Well, these things are, well, broadband itself is almost considered to be a utility like any other, so I don't think that's necessarily elitist. One of the imperatives of the iPlayer and other projects related to it is that we must try to put it on as many platforms as possible. So you don't need to have a laptop. You can get it on, if you get a FreeSat box, you can run it on, it will run on there as well. And also if you have a Wii, you can also use the built-in iPlayer channel on the Wii. So there are other ones in the pipeline. So there are plenty of ways of accessing iPlayer that don't require a laptop, and you may already have the equipment at home.
Connie, do you think your generation are a long way behind other countries when it comes to technology?
Yes, I do. I think the American older people are much more forward with it. On a cruise I recently went on, really people of 93 were sort of using them openly. You know, they had wireless as well, apparently, because they were in the public areas. So they must have had wireless, mustn't they?
And what would you like to see from the future of the iPlayer, Connie?
Well, I don't know. I think it's quite good as it is, I suppose. I'm an older person, so I don't really know the future. Maybe the youngsters would think differently. But I'm quite adequate for me at the moment.
And Carl, what have you got in the pipeline?
Well, the recent beta release of version 3 of the iPlayer has been released recently. That's a terrible way to say it. And it includes more personalisation of the iPlayer. You can link it into your BBC ID if you have one already, or you can create one. So you can build your favourites lists. You should also be able to share those with other users who have also registered. So there's an element of the social networking built into that.
Right, well that's all we have time for today. Some very interesting points there raised by Carl and Connie, and thanks for watching. See you again next time.